The history of the mascot came from obviously the Manhattan Project and the role that our community played in helping during that time of World War II.
So in the mid-1940s, if you know your history, there was a terrible war going on. But my grandparents were part of the Manhattan Project out there, and they donated a day's pay of their earnings, and that group of workers purchased a B-17 bomber called a day's pay. It flew in the European theater, I believe through 50 missions. Didn't get shot down. Got shot up a few times, but didn't get shot down. Made it back to America and was surplused after the war was over.
I don't know if it was 1942 or 43, but I think we went from Broncos to Beavers, and then through the war efforts with the day's pay, they kind of transformed into the Bombers. When the logo changed to the Mushroom Cloud, J.D. Covington, okay, he was our old football coach here in the 70s. And when J.D. took on our football program here at Richland, J.D. wanted something that would strike fear into opponents a little bit. And it literally happened right down here at Mac Hall in his math class, where inside the R, a mushroom cloud came out.
The cloud came in later in the 70s, I believe. Actually, by Coach Covington is the one I heard who was really the one who started the cloud and had a kid draw it in math class kind of a thing. And so that became the mascot since then.
I think for the people in Richland that our cloud symbolizes all that, scientific ingenuity, but also just the sacrifice and hard work of all the people that came from all over the country to Richland to do whatever was that job they had to do. They didn't really even know exactly what they were doing necessarily, but once they found out how important it was to the war effort and ending the war, then I think they've always attached a certain amount of pride, and the community's been centered on that pride forever, ever since they knew just exactly what they were doing out there.
In 1988, right at the height of the Cold War with Russia, both countries were stockpiling their arms, and so you had a lot of anti-nukes inside the community because it does come across as death and destruction. And then we had a vote. The student body had a vote in regards to what was going to be our mascot, and it was hands down like 95% of the student body that year voted that the mushroom cloud would be our logo.
As far as I know, we're the only school in the country called the Bombers with that relation to it, and it definitely is unique. I mean, within our own area, obviously people have heard of us, but the further you branch out from Richland, and whether it's in Washington State or in other states, I've encountered many people that recognize our name and our logo from far, far away, and we've been featured in different media outlets in the past, in magazines, and I have this poster over here from ESPN, the magazine, that has the 15 most unique high school mascots in the country, and that's from a couple years ago, and we were part of that story in that magazine. So I think it's a mascot that once people learn about it, know about it, it tends to stick with them because it's unique, and as far as I know, nobody else has anything close to it.
It's a symbol of peace, and it's a symbol of what could happen if we don't take good care of each other.